Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I am Adri. As you guys can see from the title, we are doing a video today. Basically, just me talking about how I made the move from Rhode Island to Houston, how I got this luxury apartment, all my tips and tricks and things I learned along the long process that got me here. I did a video on TikTok and I got so many comments, so I thought I would just kind of turn it into a YouTube video because it is longer than I can make in a TikTok. So here we are. So make sure you guys subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and I don't want to talk too much. I rather honestly just get right into it. I have some questions written down on my phone just to keep me, make sure I'm hitting the right topics that I wanted to. First, I want to talk a little bit just about how I got here, my story on where I moved from, and yeah, how I got to Houston. So I did live in Rhode Island. It's literally the smallest state in the whole country. So that's where I'm from. I was born there, I was raised there, and I live there right before here. So I just feel like I really outgrew my environment. Obviously, I do YouTube, I do social media, and I feel like that is just not a good space for what I wanted to do and my goals. I feel like it didn't align. And I feel like you can make it if you want to, but personally, I've always wanted to leave Rhode Island. I hate it there. I hate the people. I hate the environment. I feel like there's nothing fun to do anymore. I've done everything that I wanted to do there, and I just feel like I really outgrew the environment. When I was 20, I actually moved to Florida, and that is how I met my boyfriend. I ended up, getting pregnant, so I moved back home to be around my family and stuff, and it didn't turn out exactly how I wanted to. So I knew I still wanted to move away again, and I did not know where. At first, we were looking at Florida again, we were looking at Atlanta, we were looking at Vegas, we were looking at Seattle. We were literally looking everywhere just to try to see where we wanted to go. So then we started looking at Texas, and I was like, I've always heard good things about Houston. I watch a lot of people, content creators and YouTubers that do live in Houston and love it. So last December, me and my boyfriend actually flew to Houston, and we went apartment searching. We viewed probably about 5 to 6 apartments. That is actually on my channel if you guys want to go back to see that video. But we really liked the area, we liked the city, we loved the apartments and everything. So we kind of chose Houston as our destination. That was December of 2022. So we were thinking that we were going to move to Houston within a few months after that. But God had other plans. He kept us in Rhode Island for one more year after that. Just a lot happened between my family, and just a lot of personal things happened, and it was just a super hard year for me. So I did want to stay close to my parents for just a few more months. So then around September of 2023 is when we were okay, we kind of, we think we're ready to make that step and finally move to Houston. We started looking at apartments, and it was a long process. We were applying to apartments from September to November, and finally in November we got approved for this place. So before we got approved for this apartment, we actually got denied from, I believe it was 3 or 4, and some of them reasonings were just so weird. Some of them were obviously because we had no rental history. I'm young, I'm only 23, and when I was applying I was 22. I am a stay-at-home mom, so I don't have pay stub income. I just I work for myself, so it's a little different when you work from yourself rather than you're working from a job where you actually get pay stubs. So we ran into a few problems with certain apartments from that, but finally we found this apartment, and we basically just gave them our whole story and they approved us. So that is pretty much how I ended up out here. So now I want to get into the tips and tricks and everything I learned throughout the process. I feel no matter where you're living, you should at least go visit the city at least once, because I feel online could show you a whole different part of the city than actually going there and being there and feeling the vibes and feeling the environment. So like I said, that is what we did, and when we did come here, we liked it. So I feel that is just the number one thing. Figure out where you want to move to. And I know some people may come here and absolutely hate it, and some people may come here and absolutely love it, or you may go to Miami and love it or hate it. So I feel just visiting the place that you're about to live in is probably the number one step to figure out where you're going to move to. So once you do find the area that you want to live in, I would say definitely look at apartments that you want to live in, and reviews are everything. Reviews be having some tea in there. Even when we were looking at apartments, I was mainly doing more of the apartment searching. There were so many apartments that I loved how it looked, but I would go to the reviews and it would be unsafe, shootings in the parking lot, people's tires getting like destroyed or stolen, or just like some just crazy things, bugs, stuff like that. So that, like, I literally had a list of probably like 25 apartments, and about 20 of them got checked off just from bad reviews. So I feel like looking at reviews means so much when finding an apartment. Another thing I did that I feel like isn't a super common like tip is, if you guys have Facebook, I would definitely recommend like looking on Facebook groups at, like, for instance, mine was like the Moving to Houston group. So I joined that group, and I would just put like, what are some good areas, what are bad areas, you know, what I was looking for. I have a daughter, so I was looking at like more of like family friendly areas, you know. So I feel like that also helped, because it was people who actually live here, or just like realtors, apartment locators, that can just help you with that. So I feel like the Facebook groups were definitely a big help. Another thing is apartment locators. I was working with a locator. It's funny, I actually found this apartment on my own. I did work with some locators where they just helped us like what area I want to find in. So that, along with the Facebook groups, kind of really helped. So once you do find the apartment, you know, that you want to apply to, just keep in mind about the application process and moving costs. So mostly every place that we've applied to here, we've had to pay an application fee, an admin fee, and some places require a deposit before you even get approved, which I think is stupid, but that's some places' policy. Yeah, we definitely paid a lot of application fees, a lot of admin fees. A lot of the admin fees are like $200, and usually the application fee runs to like $50 to $75 per adult. So definitely keep that in your budget, because that is definitely something you will have to do to apply anywhere. First place you apply to may not be like the one you're going to get accepted to, so just keep that in mind when applying to places. Another thing that a lot of apartments require here is you to make 3 times the rent. Some places are 2.5, but I feel like most luxury places are definitely 3 times the rent. So keep that in mind, because you do have to like prove your income, you know, sign into your bank account. You got to show them stubs, you got to show them your bank account, you got to show them like your money. Basically, they need to make sure that you are bringing in 3 times whatever your base rent is. So that's definitely another thing to just keep in mind when, you know, apartment searching. Staying on the topic of just like budgeting and money, I would definitely say like start saving. Like from the moment you know that you're gonna move, try to save, because it's only gonna make it easier on you. Sometimes it can be hard to save when you're like, you know, paying the application fees and the security deposits, and then if you get denied, then you have to pay for it again. In a lot of places, if you do get denied, they don't give you it back. So it's really like non-refundable. So just make sure before getting in the application process that you have the funds, and if you do get denied, you're not gonna get it back, and make sure that's not an issue for you. Don't basically count on getting that money back. So once you do get approved for a spot, they usually require, if you didn't already, a security deposit, and obviously you have to pay your first month's rent before you move in. And a lot of places in Texas, they have like just little fees that go on top of your rent every month. So you have your base rent, but you also have like valet trash, pest control, amenity fee. Like our place, for instance, has super nice amenities. So we pay about $40 a month for our amenities every single month. So that's on top of our rent. It's not included in the rent. So also keep that in mind, like the base pay of rent that they show is not going to be the one that you actually end up paying, because they do have other little fees. And when you are looking for an apartment, definitely like talk to the leasing office, or just like try to just get them to tell you all the information. Come with questions so they can just answer it. And that's what I did, and it made it so much easier for myself. Once you do get approved for an apartment, the next step would be figuring out how you're going to get there if you are out of state, and of course looking for a job. Houston is huge, so definitely look for a job that's kind of close to your apartment, because some things can be like up to an hour away. So if you don't want to make the commute of driving, an hour to work and back every single day, definitely look for jobs that are in your area. For me personally, I don't have to look for a like 9-to-5 job, because I do work for myself. So that is, a blessing. But I know a lot of people, go to work and have to look for a job. So I would say, yeah, just try to, find a job that is near your apartment or commute that you wouldn't mind doing every day. I feel like job searching in Houston is pretty easy. Like even me and my boyfriend were just looking when we were planning on moving, like on Indeed, and there's so many different listings. There's even a lot of work from home jobs. So I feel like if that's something you're interested in, definitely go on Indeed, look at work from home jobs, and yeah. After you find a job, find an apartment, and you get approved, if you are moving from out of state like I was, you have to figure out how you're going to get there. For us, the easiest way possible was us driving. We have a daughter. This is our first luxury apartment, first apartment in general. So we decided we were going to completely start over and just buy everything when we got here. So we literally packed our car filled with to the brim of just like our clothes and our daughter's toys and stuff, and drove 25 hours to get here. So that's what worked for us, but do what works best for you in your situation. If you do want to take furniture, definitely look into like a U-Haul, even though you will have to drive, or you can get your stuff shipped, but I think that is like more of the costly option. Just kind of figure out what works best for you in your situation, and do what works best. So moving on to anybody who is looking to move out of your hometown or away to a new city, I would say do it. I feel like moving out of your hometown is a life hack. Even just me moving to Florida when I was 20 taught me so much about myself, about like just in life in general. I was on my own for the first time. So I'm actually just looking on my TikTok comments because I did post a video, and I'll have my TikTok pop up right here. A lot of people did ask me comments like, can you talk more about the moving process, or can you talk more about like how you knew you wanted to move away from family and friends and stuff? So I did want to talk a little bit about that. I know everyone's situation is not going to be the same as mine, but personally I feel like I was not going to let like me moving away from family and stuff stop me from doing my goals, because at the end of the day I have to do what's best for me. I have a daughter, so I have to do what's best for me, my daughter, her dad, my family. So yeah, I wasn't gonna let anybody's like opinion or other people wanting me to stay close stop me from doing my goal. I feel like at the end of the day you gotta put yourself first, you gotta put your goals first and your happiness first. Personally, I wasn't happy in Rhode Island. I was extremely depressed. I was extremely stressed, and I just feel like I wasn't getting the support that I thought I would have from just like family or friends. So that's another reason why I decided to move, because I'm not going to stay in a place that I don't want to be in when I'm not even, like, there would be family and friends that would go weeks on weeks and weeks without texting me how I am, asking how my daughter is, and it wasn't even more about me, it was more about my daughter, just like seeing people that I love and, thought they would have did a little more, not even financially wise, just emotional connection with my daughter. I feel like that made me move out of Rhode Island a lot quicker, because there would just be times where people, would go 5 months without texting me and asking me how my daughter is. And I feel like, why do I want to stay in a place where, people don't even care? You don't care. Everybody has the same amount of time in a day. If you wanted to, you would, and that's what I live by. If you want to do something, if you want to see someone, you're gonna make an effort to do it. And no one really did that. So that's another reason why that's another reason why it was so easy for me to move away from family and friends, because I feel like I wasn't being supported in the way I wanted to anyways. So I know a lot of people did ask me that, so that's kind of my perspective on it in my situation, but I know everybody's situation is not like mine. So I feel like if you are super close with your family and stuff, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a flight away. Like I said, if someone wants to come visit you, they're gonna do it. Thank God for FaceTime now, because obviously you can still communicate and FaceTime, your family and friends. I know my parents, I'm super, 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 super close with both my parents. They are my best friends. Like, for instance, my mom actually is here right now, just visiting and stuff. So I feel like, yeah, if they wanted to, they would. So I feel like don't let that hold you back in doing what you want to do, because at the end of the day, other people may not want, what's best for you as much as you do. So just keep that in mind too. Don't let other people hold you back, or don't let other people's negative opinions on the move hold you back. Because another thing is, when I first announced to people that I was moving to Houston, everybody was like, oh my God, why Houston? Why so far? And it's just like, Okay, I did not share my good news that I'm so happy for you to give me a negative response, because at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with your life. It's not you who's moving, so, you know, why put that negative, like, why rain on somebody else's parade? Just be happy for them. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. If you're going to be negative and say all these reasons why you don't think it's a good idea, just keep your mouth shut. And another question I know a lot of people did ask me is, if you do have kids, like, what am I going to do for a babysitter? Or just like, how am I going to go without having family or friends to just like help us out? And I feel like that is a risk I was personally willing to take. Like I said, I am working from home with my daughter, so I get to be home with her every day. Thankfully, obviously, I do have my boyfriend, who is my daughter's dad, who, you know, obviously helps me out. We parent amazingly. So yeah, it's not going to be a problem, you know, if I want to have a girls' day to myself, he can watch her and vice versa. So I feel like, you know, we have a good relationship, we have a good parenting relationship, so I feel like that really benefits the both of us in a way. And I feel like at the end of the day, nobody was really like helping us out in Rhode Island anyways, besides like my parents. So it was like, it's really kind of the same thing, honestly. So I know it's, like I said, my situation could be different, but this is just my situation and my experience and moving. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm just really looking through the comments. So this is the video I posted where it has a bunch of comments. So I'm just literally going through and reading some comments and gonna answer. How much was your move? I'm not gonna say exactly how much my move was, but personally, I know everyone, you know, times are tough now with money, and, you know, this day and age, everything's so expensive. So I would say I at least have about $5,000 to move, like just between application process, between furniture, between, you know, just the whole process in general. I would say at least $5K at minimum. Another thing that really is another tip, like when you do move into your house, do not sleep on the Dollar Tree, because let me tell you, the day we moved in, I spent like $75 at Dollar Tree, and I got so much stuff, like plates and stuff, and they're not bad quality either. And I got like a lot of cleaning supplies, toilet paper, paper towels, stuff like that. Like, you can literally go to the Dollar Tree and just get it for $1.25 versus going somewhere else and paying more for it, and it's the exact same thing. So yeah, that's one way to just like save money on certain things. Let's see, more comments. One thing I love is the amount of support I got on this TikTok. Like, I love girls who support girls. It's just so nice seeing all these, you know, girls saying proud of you and stuff, manifesting this, like, and I'm commenting back like, yes, you could do it too. Like, all you gotta do is put your mind to it. Every single day, you gotta wake up and focus on like what's gonna make you happy and what your goals are, and that's what I was doing. Like, and when I tell you, like, 2023 was so hard for me. It was probably my darkest times ever, besides like postpartum depression. And, you know, I still made it out of Rhode Island at the end of the year. So I feel like, don't let anything like that's bringing you down hold you down. You gotta, you know, get yourself out of it and still, you know, work on your goals and stay positive and just work on yourself. Another thing is, I manifested this. Like, I would literally I would wake up and write in my notes, like, I will be approved for this apartment. I will be approved for this apartment. Me and my boyfriend would talk about it constantly. We would have so many conversations just late at night, just like, yeah, we're going to get our apartment and we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we're going to do this. And look at this. We have the couch that we talked about for months. We have the TV and the TV stand that we talked about for months. We have the luxury apartment that we've talked about for over a year. So it's like, another thing is, it's God's timing, because I thought my timing was last year. I wanted it to be so bad. Like, I wanted to move to Houston so bad last year, but God had other plans. God said, no, you're going to move in when the time is right. And now was the perfect timing. Like, now that I look about it, like, there couldn't have been no better time than right now. So trust God, trust the process, trust God. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say before I end out this video. I don't know, I feel like I covered a lot. So I feel like if you guys do have any other questions that I did miss or didn't answer, make sure to comment them down below, and I will try to get back to all of you on any questions or you know, you can go to my TikTok too. I'd be answering a lot of comments on my TikTok, or my Instagram DMs are always open to anybody. So I appreciate you guys watching this. Make sure, whoever is watching this, make sure you stay motivated. Yes, you stay motivated, work on your goals, put yourself first, put your happiness first, and forget about all the negative things that people say. Like, that gets me so mad when just other people try to bring other people down, or like kind of rain on their parade about their goals. Like, it's not their life. So just do what makes you happy, work on you. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to go follow me on all social medias. And yeah, I'm so excited for this new journey that I'm already enjoying so much in life. So I will see you guys in my next video.